Meeting of the Township of Hamilton for Monday, December 17th. Could you please stand and raise for the flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's sweet. That was good. Very good. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law by posting a notice of this meeting on the bulletin board in the municipal building and by publication in the Press of Atlantic City on January the 5th, 2018, and the Atlantic County Record on January the 10th, 2018. Mr. Gishard? Mr. Kurtz?
Here.
Mrs. Link?
Here.
Mr. Silva?
Here.
Mayor Schenker?
Here. Can we have a moment of silence for private reflection? And please keep in your thoughts and prayers Committeeman Rodney Gishard as he recovers. Thank you. Let's see. So we have a couple presentations to do. Got a house full of champions tonight. Young guys, I gotta wear these now. I'm not so young anymore. Okay. Bring up the early roses as you like. So, I'm sorry, I did this backwards. I told you I was going to do it the other way. I did it backwards. We're here tonight because both of these teams represent our town. Did a very good thing this year. Worked hard, and they ended up being at the top of their game. So, congratulations to both of them. Right now, I have the Mays Landing Lakers Pee Wee team head coach, and the township would like to give you this proclamation to commemorate what you all have done. Whereas the Mays Landing Lakers Pee Wee team is comprised of young men in the 3rd and 4th grade who live in Hamilton Township, and whereas the Mays Landing Lakers Pee Wee team finished the 2018 football season with a remarkable 9-1-1 record, won the Atlantic County Junior Football League Championship, and on November 18, 2018, in a 13-6 victory over the Atlantic City Dolphins, then continued their winning streak on December 2nd, 2018 in the Northern Atlantic Regional Championships in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. And whereas the Lakers are in 3rd place in the nation, in the Mighty Might division at the Pro Football Hall of Fame World Youth Championships in Canton, Ohio on December 14, 2018. Now therefore we, the Township Committee and the Township of Hamilton of the County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, on this day, December 17, 2018, do hereby recognize the Mays Landing Lakers Pee Wee Team 2018 in honor and appreciation of their hard work and accomplishments. For the 2018 Mays Landing Lakers Pee Wee Team, the dedication and support of their coaches and especially their parents, we wish the Lakers much success in the years to come. It's signed by all of us on the Township Committee.
Go, Chad.
All right, guys, turn around so everybody can see your pretty faces. I just want to say their names so we can recognize them. Just here. Raise your hand. Philip, Slay, Julian, Gio, D.
Let's go, D.
Bryce, Devin, Fortnite,
Oh,
you back here.
he's little, you can't see him.
Fickle, Josh and Hannah. Raheem. Mayor Malik. Aiden. What? Saran. Dean. Nana.
Yeah, Nana.
Sonny.
Yeah, son.
Yeah.
Good.
AJ. James Pitts. David. Julian Small. Uthman. David.
All right, hold on. For everybody, please.
That's right. Everybody see? I want to ask for the Lakers and the Lakers family to please stay here. We have another presentation to do, and when we're done, I want to get a group picture of the photos.
All right.
Great job. All right,
Guys, how you doing? I'm Bobby Laws. I'm president of the Hamilton Youth Athletic Association. I'd like to just briefly give an acknowledgement to a couple people in the room that made the relationship between the Knights program and the Lakers program 110% better than it's ever been. Mr. J. Torres in the back, you've become a great friend. I know she's in the room because she had, the little ones with her, but where's Martina? Where are you there, honey? Thank you so much. You guys have made sure that, anytime I've called on them, anytime I've asked if we could do something together, if we can work together, these guys were always right there for us. And I just want to say thank you because it made life so much better for our kids and it made Hamilton Township so much better. So thank you guys very much.
All right, that's good stuff. So now we get to our second mighty little team. Lids down. So the Hamilton Knights taxi team also had a pretty good year. Whereas the Hamilton Knights football taxi team is comprised of young men, ages 5 to 8, who live in Hamilton Township area, and whereas the Hamilton Knights taxi team finished the 2018 football season with a remarkable 9-1 record, and participated in the Taxi Bowl in Dennis Township on November 11, 2018. Whereas at the Taxi Bowl, the Knights won 5 games in one day to advance to the final game against the Egg Harbor Township Elite, winning the championship in a 13-2 overtime victory over the Elite. Now, therefore, we, the Township Committee of the Township of Hamilton, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, on this day, December 17th, do hereby recognize the Hamilton Knights Taxi Team 2018. In honor of their remarkable accomplishment, this achievement is not only a credit to the hard work and dedication, but a credit to the support that they have received from their families, coaches, teammates, and teachers. We congratulate the Hamilton Knights taxi team for their incredible success in 2018 season and wish them the best of luck for many years to come. Coach? Great job.
Hello, all. And this is an exciting moment. And I wouldn't be able to do it without this, the help of these people behind me. This is Coach Nadira. Can we get a clap for Coach Nadira? Yep. Only female coach in the league. Gotta clap again for that. This is Coach Carlos. Can we get a round of applause for Coach Carlos? All right, now we're gonna call up the little guys that worked hard all season, and they did everything in their little bodies to earn this. I'm talking about blood, sweat, and tears. A little bit of tears. They don't cry that much, right, y'all? Yeah. So we're gonna call them up by name. First, we got Darren DJ Brooks Jr. DJ, you here? But he's not here. We got Zane Forrest. This is our quarterback right here. He was the man behind the ball. Zane. We got Amari Castaway. This is the young man that gets in front and can't nobody in the world catch him. Sometimes he can't even catch himself. He's so fast. We got the little man in charge, my son, Denham Hutt. We got another little guy, if he's here today. Elijah Lacey. He's not here? All right. We got the big man. Nobody can run up the middle when this guy's there. Nathan Montero. We got another guy that clogs up the holes. Gabriel Outerbridge. Got another little guy, future Marshawn Lynch. His name is Namir Rex. This little guy right here tackle anybody, no matter the size. His name is Kylan Brooks. Roberts, I'm sorry. Little Kai. Best defensive end in the country, Giovanni Sanders. Best all-around player in the country, we got Eli Sayers. And these are just my thoughts when I say best, so don't go looking for them online. They're gonna be there one day, just not right now. We got another little guy. This guy's fast, and I don't think he know. His name is Damien. His last name is really long. All right, how you say it, Mom? Okay, cool. This guy's one of the strongest kids in America, Jemai Walker. And that's your 2018 Hamilton Knights taxi team. Can we get a round of applause for these champions?
Still breathing.
Here's 20 minutes, we'll never get that. Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, they took all this stuff. And you.
Is mine right?
My nephew's son is in. I have a child in there. That's a bad move. At least I don't know that I do. Yeah, Gavin. All right, let's get started here again. We move on to addition and deletion of late agenda items to be considered for action tonight. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Early public comment on agenda items, excluding items listed for public hearings. Hey, Mike, could you put that microphone back, please? Thank you. Okay, on it. No one signed up? Okay, thank you. Moving on, number 3, discussions, we have none. Number 4, public hearing, adoption of ordinances. A, ordinance 1888, 2018, an ordinance adopting the redevelopment plan for the entirety of the township and a designated rehabilitation area. Bob, would you like to speak on this,
Yeah, I
please?
would, Mr. Mayor. First of all, is there anybody here that came here for the purposes of speaking with respect to this item? All right, having heard no response, the answer is no. There was a material alteration between the adoption of this and now,
Okay.
so it has to be carried. But in discussions with Rita, she and I both agreed that if somebody came here, you would certainly give them the opportunity to be heard.
Absolutely.
It'll be reintroduced in January, and then at that time, the announcement for the adoption hearing will be made.
Okay. All right, so we don't have to do anything with this right now.
You just move on.
Move on. Thank you, sir. Item B, ordinance 1889, 2018, an ordinance amending the chapter 276-15 entitled Towing Fee Schedule of the Code of Township of Hamilton, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey.
So moved.
Second.
This is a public hearing. I'm going to open this up to the public if anybody would like to speak. Mr. Stride?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no issues with the fees that are proposed, but I think I mentioned when it was introduced, I have other issues with, or concerns about the ordinance, the entire towing ordinance. I did a little bit of research, and in reading the ordinance, it appears, to the best of my knowledge, that all of the other requirements, or many of them, have not been adhered to. One of my concerns is the certificate of compliance that the applicants must provide. It seems there's a procedure. The clerk receives the information, passes it on to the chief of police, he reviews it, and then recommends it back to the township committee, and township committee votes on a list to be approved. That's the way I see it, or understand the ordinance. Applications must be submitted between October 1st and November 1st to the township committee, and it goes through the process, and then ultimately township committee, at their recommendation by the chief of police, vote to accept the applicants. And then the licenses expire December 31st of each year at 12 o'clock according to the ordinance, which means, I think, and I could be wrong unless I missed something, you should be voting tonight on the list of towers based on the time they apply, get all of their requirements. I did actually I just opened the certificates of compliance for 2018. The gentleman or officer in the police department responded. The last one was 2003. So going forward, I would hope that in your discussion tonight, you might hold someone accountable to follow the ordinance in much better sequence than what has in the past. Personally, I'm concerned with the certificate of compliance for each property, which means the zoning officer will inspect the properties and report back to the chief of police and the clerk, and ultimately to you. So I would just hope that you would take a deeper look at the entire ordinance.
Okay.
That's the only comment. But as far as the fees, I'll leave that up to, I have no comment on the fees.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, who's going to follow up on that?
I think we had Chief Moore had a conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and the other stuff,
you-
what is the traffic officer has dealings with him too, right?
Well, the chief signed it
He
today.
signed someone to oversee that? Okay.
Did you hear the response?
I get that.
The chief and our clerk are working on exactly what you're talking about right now.
For future, okay.
Yep.
And
I think you brought it up last meeting, and
Yeah, okay.
yep.
I
that's fine.
suspect it's, in all fairness, since it hasn't been really adhered to in the past, you only have 2 weeks to come into full compliance reasonably. I don't know that could happen, but you need to address it, I think.
Okay.
at some point, because if your reorganization is after January, technically, only in a technical sense, the license will have expired, to my understanding of the ordinance.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
we'll follow through. Thank you. Anyone else in the public like to speak? Motion to close the public portion?
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Accept the motion for adoption of ordinance.
Make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 1889, 2018. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, please, Rita. What would I-
Mr.
what was I
Kurtz?
thinking?
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes.
Mrs. Link?
Yes.
Mr. Silva? Yes. And Mayor Schenker?
Yes.
All yes and adopted.
Thank you. C, ordinance 1890, 2018, an ordinance of conveyance of 2 temporary sidewalk easements to the state of New Jersey. Before we open it to the public, Mike, would you just go over real quick?
Yes, the Department of Transportation is going to be making some improvements out on Route 322 in the area of the Woodlands, and they need a couple temporary easements to do the corner handicapped accessible ramps. So it's just temporarily using it. When they're done, it goes away. And when the construction's over, the easement goes away.
Okay.
And they're going to pay the town $600 for that.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Open this up to the public for a public hearing. Anybody like to speak?
Move to close the public portion.
Second?
The motion is second to close the public portion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion to carry ordinance 1890, 2018.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second. Rita, can we have a roll call vote,
You
please?
meant to say adopt, right?
Is that, what did I say?
Carry.
Carry, adopt. All right, adopt, that's what I meant, yeah.
Mr. Kurtz?
Rita, please.
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes.
Mrs. Link?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Yes,
All yes and adopted.
thank you. Number 5, we have no introduction of ordinances. We're going to move to number 6, award of bids, contract, and change order. Resolution A, resolution to reject bids for a new laundry room and received from all vendors. This would be bid number 2018-04B. Would you like to give us a little background on this, Mike?
Yes, we had $50,000 budgeted. We had a little bit of additional funds left over from another project.
Right.
It would have put us in the $80,000 range. The lowest bid was 104, so it exceeds our budgeted amounts. So that gives us the authority to reject the bids
Okay,
and replan it for next year's budget.
okay.
So moved.
Committee?
I'll make that resolution.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All
Aye.
those opposed? The ayes have it. Move on to B, resolution to approve change order number 1, Hamilton Township Pipe Crossing Replacements, bid number 2017-04, decrease of $31,315.16.
I'll move that. It's always good to do a decrease.
Yeah.
Second.
We have a motion
I'll
and
second.
a second. Rita, I think we need a roll call to do this.
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes.
Mrs. Link?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Absolutely.
All yes and
Money's rolling
carried.
in, Mike.
C, resolution authorizing the purchase of commercial gear washer and 4-set gear dryer from Fowler Equipment Incorporated in the amount of $16,570.
Yes, Mayor, this is the washer and dryer that was part of the laundry room bid. We do have enough funds to purchase the equipment.
Okay.
So we're recommending that we
Moving
purchase
forward.
the equipment, and then we only have the room to do next year.
And Mike, this was scaled down from the original size
Oh,
of the
yes.
machine.
Yeah.
That
Yes,
was-
just to do basically four sets at a time. which
Okay.
is
And when are we going out to bid? After the first of the year?
After the budget, yes.
And obviously, the reason is because this equipment would be hard to get. I mean, it's available, but the time limit is that,
Well, we had the funds available this year, so we wanted to utilize those funds, and then we have less to budget next year.
we purchase this equipment ourselves, it's going to be a little cheaper to
Yeah, you want
us.
to pay markup.
We're saving a little bit of money, but, all right, very good.
I'll make a motion to move that resolution.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Rita, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes.
Mrs. Link?
yes,
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Yes.
All yes and carried.
All right. D, resolution approving interlocal agreement for salt storage, loading, and purchase with the Hamilton Township Board of Education. This is pretty self-explanatory. Committee?
I'll move that.
second,
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Need a roll call? Yeah? Okay. Rita?
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes.
Mrs. Link?
yes,
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Yes.
All yes and carried.
Very good. Consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through I.
I'll second it.
A motion and second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on, number 8, personnel, we have nothing. Number 9, approvals. We have the minutes from December 3rd, 2018, regular meeting.
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
A motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Payroll and bills. Bill list total $1,898,195.15.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Rita, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes.
Mrs. Link?
yes,
Mr. Silva?
Here.
Mayor
Yes.
Schenker?
Yes.
All yes and carried.
Thank you. 10, reports. Mr. Administrator.
Nothing to add to the written report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Solicitor? Excellent. Mr. Engineer?
Yeah, Mayor and Committee, I just have a few items. My first is I want to report on the road program. Since last committee meeting, there's been 2 other roads that we've done some work on. One is the intersection of 11th and Adams. We did the paving of that intersection. The other work that we did was Harley Avenue. We did some work at the bridge on Harley Avenue. The 2 roads that are left on the program are Pennington Avenue and McKee Avenue. We're hoping to work on Pennington. Curbing will start soon. McKee Avenue, we're going to wait until we open up Renaissance Way Drive, the drive that runs, connects Volunteer Way to Black Horse Pike. That's going to relieve a lot of the traffic permanently, but it's going to help the road reconstruction of McKee Avenue. So
Will you detour up Renaissance Drive? I mean, not Renaissance, up Volunteer Way to
volunteers,
Renaissance,
yes,
right?
yes.
For that period of time?
We've talked to Wade Smith about it, and that's sort of what we're hoping to get that road opened up, and we'll detour them. But that road's going to be opened up pretty soon anyway, within a week or less.
Good.
Tavistock, we're waiting for contracts on Tavistock. I think the information from the Arawak Paving Company was finalized with the insurances, so we're just waiting for signed contracts. And what we're going to do is start on the fences. We're going to do the fence 5 of the basins out there. That we can do that no matter what the weather is. And then if we're fortunate, we have some good weather. Arawak said they'll start if they could have a period of time where we could have some good weather. The asphalt plants are open. Construction projects in my report, I mentioned Buffalo Pike Sleep Center is virtually done, ready to open, and Starbucks will be opening in February. Outback Steakhouse has finally stepped it up a little bit. They're moving a little quicker than they were for the first month of construction. Artist Walk, very quietly. It's a project you don't see, it's not visible, but they're selling a lot of houses back there in Artist Walk right now. Since Ryan Holmes is under contract with the Artist Walk in Paparone, they're selling quite a few houses back there, so it's been a steady growth back in that development. We've processed a number of street openings, 1 certificate of occupancy, and I have 2 items, miscellaneous items I want to talk about. The first is 32nd Street. We paved 32nd Street across from Atlantic Electric, and we added some drainage in that area. Right after the road was completed and we put drainage in, the drainage system worked just fantastic the first rainfall. The second and third rainfall, we had 2 and 3 inches of rain. That road was flooded again, and I was out there. A Atlantic Electric's basins are not retaining the water as they were designed. So I contacted Ken Moscow, and he is going to get his contractor and clean out his basins. I suggested that I'm available to meet anytime to give them some advice. They need to deepen those basins a little bit. The reason that 32nd Street was flooded for a period of time during those second and third rainfalls is because the Atlantic Electric basins were not taking any stormwater. So Ken was very agreeable to do the work. About 2 years ago, we had the same problem, and he jumped in and helped us out. So I'm pretty optimistic about that. I want to get this resolved before our drainage system continues to take his water. I mean, it's a closed system. It's an underground system. And it's not designed to handle, the overflow from their basin. It's designed to handle most rainfalls that come to that low point on 32nd Street. So I'll stay with that until Ken Moscow helps us out.
Very good.
The next thing is something I mentioned at the last committee meeting. On Main Street at Linwood Avenue, there's a manhole that's continually seeping stormwater. Verizon has ductwork in Main Street, and that's sort of the low point, the relief point, and any water that's getting into that ductwork system that they had is the only relief because there's internal leaks in that system. It's coming through the opening in the manhole, and it's running down the gutter line on Main Street. It's been pretty annoying here for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I've sent videos. I've been in contact with Verizon. I'm about to step it up and go a little higher up until we get this resolved.
Steve, didn't they have electrical things running through that?
They do. They do. And they tell me they've been down, but when they came down, they didn't call me when they said they were coming, so I'm making it a priority over this next short period here to get this resolved.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Steve. We'll move on to Township Committee members. Judy?
I would like to comment on the taxi group and the Pee Wee football. It was just marvelous to see everyone out there and how many children it involved, and they all seemed to be well behaved, listening to their coach, and just they've done a wonderful job, the coaches as well as the children. So many kudos go out to the taxi team and the Pee Wee football team. I'd like to say something about Rodney. He's coming along, Rodney Richard. I hope to see him here for reorg. I think he will be. And he misses everyone and says, he wishes everyone the best for the holiday. And so do I. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas for the holiday, and just relax, have a good time, and we'll get started, in January as far as our work is concerned. So that's it.
Thank you, Judy. John?
I just wanted to reiterate on what Steve said about the stores opening out there, in Starbucks date, and also the mattress store that was scheduled for the 20th, but we might tweak that a little bit. But the good news is that Renaissance Drive will be opening on the 20th, and that's very good news for the people in that area to be able to navigate through from the homes back there and through the middle of that development. And now with the new turn lanes, they can make a right or a left right there at the Pike or go straight across into Hamilton Commons. So it's a good thing, and we're really happy to see that come to an end. That's it.
Very good. Roger?
Thank you. To everyone, all our residents, your families, the children, and everyone in our community, I wish you a happy, healthy, and safe and prosperous season. You can rest assured that it will be as a result. I was just looking at some of the statistics of our public safety units, namely the police department. So far through the month of November, they've responded to just shy of 52,000 calls. Now, when you look at that in terms of the size of the force and what they do, it's outstanding. So I think we owe a lot to our police department, both the men and women who keep this community safe, our fire departments who respond to the alarms, whether they be true or false, and to our ambulance service. We have a lot to be thankful for, and you know, the work that they do, you just can't, you can't say enough nice things about them. So I feel safe in this community, and I feel that they make it what it is. So, and I hope Rodney comes back soon too, Judy. I did talk to him the other day, and he seemed very upbeat, and I think it's positive. So we wish him well, and everyone else in this room. The other amazing thing, you saw how crowded this room was? Look around now. What do we got? 9 people here. Before that, you know, we look at you. You've had quite a significant number, but it was a nice thing to see the way that they bring these young people along, and I think it's good for the community. It catches them at a young age, and I'm happy to see that. So, everyone, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Roger. I just want to echo on the Lakers and the Knights' achievements. I got a chance to go to quite a few of their games, and you know, there's times, especially with through the playoffs and stuff, it's at a time of the year where it's not exactly warm anymore. And those kids were a lot tougher than I was, because I was freezing, and they were out there just doing what they do and having a good time, and I'm very proud of them. And you know, you saw the parents crowd here in the middle to take pictures, and that's what this is all about. And I think it's very important for us as a town to make sure that we recognize all the accomplishments from all of the sports teams. These kids playing sports keeps them out of trouble and keeps them where they should be, and heading on the right path. So just again, congratulations to all of them. The other group that I'd really like to thank tonight is the fire departments. I don't know how they're doing it, but somehow they got Santa booked all the way through this month. And he's been everywhere with every company. It's amazing. It's almost magical. But I really want to just give them a shout out. Appreciate what they do. Appreciate, you know, if you have kids, or if you're on a neighborhood or on a block where there are kids, they absolutely lose their minds. Fire truck and Santa, come on. Can't get any better than this. It's good stuff. So I wish everybody happy holidays, and whatever you celebrate, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, and have a good time. We'll move on to public comment. Anybody in the public like to speak? Jim?
I have a question for Steve.
Okay.
Steve, it looks like a portion of Volunteer Way has been vacated.
It's in the process of being vacated right now. We presented it to the planning board last 2 Thursday nights ago, and they gave a recommendation to Township Committee. This is where the cul-de-sac was taken out recently. It was, you know, before the connector road was there was a cul-de-sac. That portion of the cul-de-sac, the physical improvements have been removed, so that still remains as a right-of-way, and that's what we're working towards.
Is that near Wrangleboro Road?
It's back. It's off of Volunteer Way, where we placed the connector road that comes off of Wrangleboro cul-de-sac. It's in Eagles Mirror development.
And the fee hasn't waived, customary fee.
Well, there's a standard fee of $500 when like an individual wants to request a street vacation. Since it's all inner township, it doesn't make sense for any kind of fee amongst the township won't pay itself $500, so that's why the $500 is waived.
And finally, this is your last meeting as mayor.
Yeah.
And it looks like in January, the man on your right will become mayor.
Looks like it. Anything else, Jim?
And finally, I want to wish everyone a happy Christmas and very Merry New Year.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Thanks, Jim.
I couldn't say that if I tried. Take some skills right there.
Yeah.
Anyone else like to speak? Mr. Stride.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I continue to have concerns about the change order for Pennington Avenue. And I guess I'm more interested right now is in the process. Since there was a road program adopted earlier in the year, and it seems that all of a sudden a change order popped up. So my question is, and I asked Mike this, and he referred me to Township Committee rather than answer himself. So I guess, how does that work as far as, I know that a township engineer doesn't wake up one day and decide he's going to go out to any street and, or any project and just do a write-up on a change order for any project. So how does the township engineer receive or who directs him to make that or initiate that change order?
John and Roger, you guys are on the road program, so maybe you'd be better suited to answer than me or Mike. I don't.
Well, when the project was approved,
Which project?
the annual paving project for 2018.
The first 2018 road program.
2018 program. Yeah, there was no discussion at that time about curbs. It wasn't, because none of the streets had curbs until we found out Pennington had them. So then we met as a group with the public works liaisons and determined that we would get Steve to go out and take a look at it and do the curbs as well, because everybody was upset because when Main Street was paved, the curbs weren't done. And when we did Park Road, we also did the curbs. So to be consistent, we recommended doing the curbs.
There was a lot of flack that went on towards the state when they painted the highway there, because they should have addressed the curbing all the way down.
On Main Street.
Yes, they never did.
Oh, I understand. I
And
mean, it's obvious they didn't.
And I think the concern came that, Pennington probably won't be looked at again for another, maybe you and I won't even be on this earth then, okay? Well, at least I won't, but maybe you will be, because you're about 3.5 years younger than me. I think that the curbing made good sense to look at it because of the definition that it would give that area. And it's such a small area on both sides that it made a lot of sense to consider that as an alternate. So I would think that going forward, where we have curbs and, our neighborhood don't have them, but where we do have it, I think they should always be looked at because it does hold the road and it makes a lot of sense to have it, especially even when you're plowing. I mean, you've seen damage on streets like ours where the plow comes up and rips off. Maybe in one year they hit my sprinkler system, but I think in that case it made a lot of sense. Now, as far as the other option of it, the road program, it'll be finished, when do you figure, Steve?
Hopefully in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, and we don't know what the end number is going to be. I mean, as you saw tonight, sometimes you see a decrease, sometimes you see a minor change order. But basically, I think for Pennington, it made the most sense. There are no sidewalks on Pennington that are being done. In fact, the other side don't have any, and this side only has a little bit, both on one side and the other.
It was in the.
That's not going to be touched at all.
Yeah, it was in the October 22nd.
Yes.
Change order sidewalks. So how was that?
The change order, there was nothing with sidewalks on there. Am I correct, Steve?
No sidewalks.
The original one he's referring to
Well,
had sidewalks.
I have a document right here. That October
The original
22nd.
ones had sidewalks.
It was 9,300.
Sidewalks
In one of our meetings, they were deleted. In one of our meetings, we deleted the
How did
sidewalks.
they get on there in the first place? I guess is my question.
Well, when he went out, he saw the sidewalks.
Maybe I could answer some of this too, because I was in the middle of all this too. When I was asked to do the design of the road program, Bruce, I don't know if you saw the plans. I have a copy here. There were 6 alternates.
I actually opened that, but I didn't get that.
Well,
I wanted
I have
the.
a copy. You can
No, that's
if you
okay. I
want.
don't need that right
So
today.
I actually, there's a 2-page list of roads that need to be done in the township. So I designed all of them. We paved. The program ended up, accounting for half or 60%. But there's 6 other roads that are designed, ready to go.
Well, one of the questions I had going through it that West Jersey has been on it since 2015, and so rather than doing something that's been on since 2015, we jumped up.
But I think we got a grant.
West Jersey is approved under a grant. It's going to be done with the grant funds. What? We wouldn't want to spend township money.
So there's 6 other roads that weren't even part of this program, but they're fully designed, ready to go. there's other, Atlantic Avenue, there's a lot of discussion that Atlantic Avenue really needs to be paved, but that's a pretty expensive because it's such a long roadway. But I think what might have happened here is, there's a lot of discussion, let's get as many roads done as we can, you know, now's a good time money-wise. I kind of went ahead with this thinking roads, roads, roads. After I got done, I put it out to bid, then, you know, Public Works said, well, what about curbing? And I said, I didn't look that close at the curbing on Pennington Avenue. And that's when the discussion started, after we're out of bid. So that's sort of the sequence of what was going on.
I get it, thank you.
Why did Public Works suggest the curbing?
Well, it's probably a good idea when you're doing a road, if like what happened to Main Street, where, you know, now that Main Street's paved and they go to the road, the curbing, I mean, it's a little bit, you know, the proper way is to take care of both. You take care of the curb, you take care of, and so there's a complete package you're done.
Another perfect
Right,
example
I
is
mean-
Park Road.
Yeah,
Park Road.
It needed it badly, it got done, and it gave it not only the definition that curbing gives, but it's a much neater way for it to be finished off.
also for drainage, you know, if we're properly draining the water as it comes about where it's supposed to go. If you don't have the curbing, it creates a lot of problems.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Link?
Mr. Mayor, committee, it's been a while since I've been in the well, but thanks for the opportunity. Wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to committee and the administration and your families as well.
Thank you.
Art, congratulations on a year well done.
Thank you.
As chair, appreciate it. I come with two more things. First of all, this is the 43rd time that committee has approved the all-night skate at Young Skating Center. This will be our 43rd event, and Judy and I were proud to, do our part to help the kids and parents, and the families in the region. So thank you for that. And it goes to the next thing, which we rely on a lot at the rink, is public safety. And you said it very well, Art, about and Roger, about the police, the fire, and especially rescue. When you put wheels on people's feet. We hate to admit it, but hey, sometimes it has to be. We see an ambulance from time to time at the rink, but they all do a marvelous job. So thank you for that. The third thing, however, is personal. First of all, at Jim Link 676 Park Road and 763 Park Road. But this one concerns the house at 676 Park Road and the level of the water in that lake. Now I know this is not a new situation. When I was up there with you guys, when I was in the planning board, we had the same issue back in 1997. August 20th was a major problem. And in 2007, there was another major problem, okay? I know it's not an easy situation, but man, water and fire can be just as dangerous as each other, okay? Yeah. We have sustained substantial damage on that building that we live in. And it's directly proportional to the level of that lake. Okay, and for the last month, I know there's been a lot of rain, but I don't know what the situation is with the gates and the sluiceway in the spillway of that dam, number one. Number two, that has a deleterious effect on the dam itself. The higher the water is, the more pressure it is at the bottom of that dam, and I understand it's not doing real well. So I would implore committee, please, I know you haven't been sitting on your hands about it, and I know it's a very difficult situation, but it's only getting worse exponentially. And it's wrecking my house. Okay? I hope that next year you put that as a priority between yourselves and the county to get it right. Let's get this litigation going on whatever it is with the construction companies that are going to rebuild that dam and rebuild the spillway. And so we get a functional 21st century, solution to the Great Egg Harbor River. Right now, we got a 19th century, antiquated way in which we handle that water, and it just doesn't work. So with that, appreciate it, but have a very good holiday, and we'll see you back in January.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else from the public like to speak?
Move to close the public portion.
Second?
We have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion for adjournment is in order.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.